Hello.
Hello.
Um, I watched like 90% of Heathers the other day. And I do have to say, the play is much better.
I have never seen the original movie.
Yeah, it's first of all, like it starts out with Veronica being in with the Heathers. And they're like there's and like you don't get the whole back like the reason why I say the play is better is because you immediately learn that like, oh, these are the popular kids. Veronica's not one of them, and she's like friends with Martha, and the only reason they want her to be like in their club is because she can forge stuff. That's like not really explained at all in the movie. And I haven't finished it yet because I like
Do they
got
explain that
bored.
she can forge stuff in the movie?
She does like like she writes some things and stuff, but it's not like a huge like, oh yeah, I'm gonna forge this because that's what I do. It's like mostly they're only talking about when they're doing like the suicide notes when she's like, here, you have to write this. But like that's like all they say about it. I'm like, I feel like this is
That's
important.
that's probably why they added it in the musical, where they're like, it shouldn't be a common thing that this is she's just accidentally really good at forgeries.
Yeah,
So much so she gets away with what three murders.
I don't even know. I there's a little bit left, but I like got bored and I switched changed it to something else.
What did you change it to?
Um, I don't even remember. I've watched so many things lately. Because I always do. So I put on movies while I'm doing cakes, and I think I started it one time and then I like had to go somewhere so I didn't finish it. And then I was like gonna finish it while I was doing a cake, and then I was like, I can't. I need something that I've seen before so I don't have to like pay attention to this. And so I switched it. Um, I I watched both the National Treasure movies. Um, and the cake before that, I watched Sorcerer's Apprentice, so maybe I'm in my Nicolas Cage era.
You've got your trio.
Yeah. So, and then the
Are
other day
are
I
those the
watched
only movies on your Nick Cage run through?
basically because what am I gonna watch? Spider-Verse?
The Spider Noir, that's live
I know,
action.
I know. Um, let's look up Nicolas Nicolas Cage.
What's the
I feel
one
like
that What's the one he was in that he played himself that came out
that's
a few years ago?
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I actually haven't seen that one.
Me neither.
He's in like he's in so many things, but it's just those three movies that I like care about
Me too, me
slash
too.
have even seen. Because like the other one would be Gone in 60 Seconds, but I haven't
Okay.
seen that.
I have never seen Gone in 60 Seconds, and every time I bring this up to Dad, he like freaks out about it. Which I don't think he freaks out about a lot of movies that I haven't seen. Well, being that lots of times we'll have owned the movies, and I'll say I haven't seen them, and usually he's like, oh well, like I can't believe you haven't seen this, but also like I get it, because when you guys watched a bunch of movies, it was always like you three and he watched them with you, and then you'd see the movies that we owned, and that didn't happen with me the same way. So it's like fine. But Gone in 60 Seconds, he freaks out about. He's like, "Are you kidding me? This is Mom's Giving Blood movie. Like this is the
Mhm.
he just and we have it on DVD twice. We have two DVDs of Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't know. But I've never seen it. He just
I have seen like a couple of the other ones, but like they're not like I've probably seen them like once, like Ghost Rider, City of Angels, Next. Like those ones I have seen, but they're the Croods.
I actually like the Croods.
I
I was
that
thinking
doesn't
about
surprise me.
I was actually thinking about the second Croods the other day.
Okay, anyway. Um, yeah. So I watched Heather's mid. Extremely mid at best. Anyway. Okay, that's all I had. We're just gonna get right into it today. Today we're talking about the drama. Now, romance movie Becca did not want to see. I said, "Don't you worry. I will go. I will represent. I will get all the info, come back and bring it to you." But you've seen the trailers,
I've seen a trailer.
okay? Based on the trailer, what do you think this movie is about?
I think the trailer that I saw didn't have a lot of plot in it. It was kind of
Okay,
just like scenes of them looking.
okay. But like, so you have no clue of what
Based
this
on
movie is.
mostly based on the poster,
Mm,
a little bit of the press that I've seen. Here's what I thought the movie was about,
okay.
having not actually seen a whole actual real trailer.
Hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like kind of like a romantic comedy where like the couple doesn't actually get together or is like kind of like enemies at the same time, something like that. Or it was kind of like what do I say? I don't like the movie that I don't know, just like that kind of comedy where it's like I can think of no word to describe it, but it's this movement. Do you know
Okay,
what I'm
you
talking
thought it was
about?
gonna be a rom-com.
Yeah, but more like a dark comedy, I guess.
Okay. Okay, so um this movie, so like from the marketing, all that is reasonable, seems correct. Um this movie was primarily actually about school shootings.
I didn't know about that even a little bit.
Neither did I. And I was following the marketing. I'd seen all the trailers. Came out of the most left field I ever saw. It was I'm just like
When you say primarily,
okay,
what do you
let me
mean?
tell you, this is my rundown of the movie, okay? Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Okay, here's another thing. The movie is not it's not in chronological order, but so like
It just jumps around a little bit.
it so like yeah, it jumped there it's the clippiness and the jumping around in the first third of the movie is almost infuriating with how much it's like this, not actually this, but actually this, but oh, but actually, no, actually, it was this. Like clips going back and forth, making it seem like something is this, but it's actually not, and then it's this. Like it's hard to describe because like it was nonstop and like just clips after clip after jump, jump, jump here and there. However, it is technically chronological order where they like you get the story of how they met and then they're dating engaged or they're just engaged and then the ending is like the wedding.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When movies do this, not necessarily not in chronological order, but when they jump from story to story, I guess, or
Hmm.
out of order, things like that, I feel like it has to be for a purpose. Like for
Huh.
example, what's the name of the movie? We Live in Time. That's the one we both saw, and I saw later. And you didn't like that it was out of order, and I liked that it was out of order. And it's out of
Hmm.
order because it's supposed to be like how you remember a person. Like that serves a purpose. Or
Sure.
like, I'm thinking of another movie that's name I can't remember. I don't know, but like when you have things out of order, you're like, oh, you're solving a mystery, and you have now you're seeing this evidence in new light, so it needs to be out of order. Or you're like, oh, I'm jumping between stories because this person knows this and this person does it. Things like that where like it serves a purpose. Did
Yeah.
that was there a reason, or do you think it was just for like to make it more exciting?
I think a lot of it was kind of stylized in that way because they kind of, but I do also think some of it was to create a mystery effect. Um, but so like but honestly like was not really impactful because it left me more confused about certain things than like I gotta find out what happens. Like in that way. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
So I'll just go into the rundown. So it's Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, their love story is the movie, okay? Um, so like I said, a little more clippy at the beginning, less so halfway to end. Um, but they meet in a coffee shop, they have their meet cute, and uh it's kind of like a forced meet cute anyway. Um, they're dating, they're engaged, okay? That's like all right at the beginning. They're engaged. They're planning the wedding, end of the week. It's on Saturday. And so Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And then there's this other couple that was initially Robert's best friend, roommate, whatever. And he's married to a girl that is now friends with Zendaya. Okay. So, and like he's the best man, she's the maid of honor. Um, they all go to this like food tasting for the venue, and they're talking, trying the food, and all that stuff. And it gets brought up of like they're all going in a circle sharing the worst things they've ever done. And so they all go in
And one of them was a school shooter.
well, so one guy was like, "Oh, I used my girlfriend as a human shield." Another girl like locked a kid in a closet and left him there overnight. And then I honestly can't even remember what Robert said. It was not anything crazy. And then Zendaya, she said, "Oh, well, when I was a kid, I planned a school shooting." And they're all like, "Are you being serious?" Like confused, obviously. That's a shocking thing to say. But she's like, "No, like yeah, I didn't do it, but I like thought about it heavily." And they were like, "Well, that's crazy. So like we can't be friends with you anymore." And she's like, "No, but like I didn't do it." This honestly, as soon as she said that, like me, there was like a group of girls behind me in the theater. Like everybody in the theater was like, "What? Wait, what?" It was okay. I need to get through the rundown before I like go off on this movie. Okay, so then they're all like, "That's crazy. We can't be friends with you anymore." And Robert Pattinson is like, "I don't I don't even know you anymore. Like this is crazy." Like and so then the next bit is like him trying to understand what happened and like how this came to be and like her motivations behind it and like how they're gonna work through this as a couple and like whether or not they're still getting married at the end of the week because of this big secret. And so like as they're going through that, they have to still meet with like the photographer and the DJ and like the venue. And so like they're still trying to do the wedding things, but like also like work through this massive thing. And then um the whole time the best friend, the girl, the maid of honor, she's like, "My cousin was paralyzed in a school shooting and like this is not funny even a little bit." So she's like no contact with Zendaya. And then right before the wedding, they get in contact because she's like, well, Robert Pattinson meets up with the maid of honor and the best man to be like, "Yeah, we talked about it." He's like starting to understand Zendaya and be like more okay with the situation, but he's still very much like freaked out. And so then they all meet up and he's like, "I feel like you guys should like give her a chance to explain herself and like all this." And the maid of honor is not having it. She's like, "This is crazy. She's crazy." And she's like, "But I am the maid of honor, so I will come to the wedding still because like it's my job kind of. Um, but she's like, I have to like get approval from my cousin because see if like she's okay with me going because like she got paralyzed from a school shooting. And so there's all that. And then so then Robert is
So
like,
they're like telling everybody.
no, so it's just the two couples that know. And then also I guess her cousin now. But um so like not even Zendaya's parents knew that she was gonna do this. Um so then um they like go away to do that. Robert is like at work like the next day or whatever. And he's like slowly more and more like freaking out a little bit because he's like he, anyway, like as you would probably in this situation. He's at work and he says to his coworker, he's like, hypothetically speaking, if your boyfriend planned a mass shooting but didn't go through with it, like what would you do? And she's like, what? Like I would call the police. Like and he's like, no, but like he didn't do it. And so they're like going back and forth about this hypothetical situation. And he like freaks out, runs out of the room and back to his office and like starts to cry. And the girl like follows him and being like, are you okay? And then he kisses her and like but then they're quickly like, oh, never mind, we can't do that. So, and then like, I don't know the exact timeline, like the next day or 2 days later is the wedding, and they're officially like at the wedding, got married. Like I said, it's like clippy. Like we don't see the whole wedding, we just like see the reception part. So they're like at the reception and uh Zendaya like goes to the bathroom and hears somebody outside the bathroom door mention like a mass shooting. And so she's like, "Oh my gosh, everybody knows." Like they told everybody, so everybody thinks I'm crazy. When really like she was talking it was the she opens the door and sees the coworker and she was talking about the like hypothetical situation, so like wasn't actually talking about Zendaya. So then Zendaya pulls Robert into a different room and she's like, we have to go get her to like see who told her so we can figure out who knows and like shut this all down because we can't have this at the wedding. So they like get the coworker, bring her in the room. The coworker does not know what she's being brought in the room for and she's like, just to let you know, like, he kissed me. So then Zendaya's like, what are you talking about? And so
This
then it
is the
comes,
drama.
well, then it comes out that he cheated, but then also like she's like paranoid that everybody knows about the school shooting. So they go back into the reception room and they're like giving the speeches and the dad gives a speech and then the maid of honor gives a speech and both the speeches are like there's tension in the room. And then uh Robert stands up to give a speech and he's very flustered, like confused about everything and like everything and he like blurts out that he like kissed his coworker. And the coworker's boyfriend is also at the wedding and he's like, what the heck? Gets up, headbutts Robert in the face. And then it like cuts back to Zendaya had left the reception. Robert went home. Zendaya wasn't there. Then Robert like walks to a diner and sits down. He's like still in the tux, like he's got blood on him, and then sits down to like have a burger. And then Zendaya walks into the diner also, sits down to have a burger, and they agree to like start over the relationship. And that's the end of the movie.
Cute.
The way I retold it makes it sound like a better movie than it actually was. Like, I just don't, I feel lied to. I feel so lied to This, I'm officially putting it under the Argyle effect because nowhere, absolutely nowhere in any of the promo ever were we clued in to what the problem in this movie was. Now, I will admit, they were very cagey about like the drama that was going to go down in this movie, clearly because they don't want to spoil the movie. But like it, it's so hard to explain because it wasn't funny enough to be a comedy. It wasn't dramatic enough to be like the drama that we thought it was going to be. It wasn't romantic at all. It wasn't like if they wanted to do a movie about political gun violence and stuff, do that. If they wanted to do a dramatic romance movie, do that. I don't think it fell under any of those categories. And it was honestly hard to watch because the moment that she like said the worst thing she ever did and like the mood of the movie shifted. Have you ever been in a room where two people are arguing and you just have to sit there? Like it was that feeling the entire movie, and I just like I wanted to crawl out of my skin and not be there. It was so hard to watch. The movie, it was an hour 45. It felt like it was 6 hours long. Like I just
I
did
feel
not want to
like the
be there.
movie. I'm listening to you tell this, and I'm like, man, you're trying to like communicate to me how much you dislike the movie, and I'm sitting here going like, it definitely made you feel exactly what they were trying to. This is definitely what they were trying to go for. That feeling.
No, but like no, okay, well, here's what I'll say about that is because like the movie, like the clips, like you were saying, there's a purpose. The purpose was to be like, what is the drama that's going on? But like, we still already knew about the school shooting bit at this point, and there's like two clips of like the typical drama that you would expect from this movie, which is when he cheats on her, and then the boyfriend like headbutts her at the wedding. Like that's the kind of drama that I was expecting to get in this movie, and to that is fun to watch for me. It is enjoyable or fun to watch, like a couple trying to figure out if they can trust each other because one of them thought they were gonna kill a bunch of middle schoolers like 10 years ago. I just cannot accurately describe how confused I was and like mad about like that I did not know that this is what the movie was. And I can tell
I
you the other girls in the theater were 100% with me because when the movie ended, all of us like in unison were like, "What was that? What was that?"
I can imagine your guys' faces in the theater.
Like there was multiple times I was you're gonna have to look at the clips for this. There was multiple times I was looking at the screen being like I physically like was revolting. Like I was like, I can't. This is so painful to watch. And like there are movies where like they're trying to make you grossed out or they're trying to like feel like I've never experienced this in a movie that was like trying to make you feel like this. I I genuinely don't think this is the feeling they were going for. I genuinely and I don't even know how to describe it because I've never watched a movie like this. Like I came out of the theater so disappointed. Like so disappointed because I was ready to have this like really enjoyable, fun, drama-filled night. And okay, like the fun that people feel when they gossip is like what I wanted to feel when I was watching this movie, and it was just like could not be further away. Like I, I don't know how to describe it better. It
I
was
when I was describing what I thought the movie was like Fun was definitely a word that I didn't say that I was trying to think of, and you're saying it was not at all.
No, it's not. But like from the promo,
Yeah.
all of the promo from this movie and the trailers were like clearly centered around there's some kind of drama secret, but like we were not going to tell you because that's the bit. But like drama, oh, a wedding, like this movie is categorized as a romance. None of that. Absolutely no romance in this movie. And like so like the drama that they were like promoting, not in the movie like at all. The one clip, like I said, the boyfriend headbutting him in the face, like that's the kind of drama you could see at a wedding because like even the actual drama of him cheating on the partner was awkward to watch. Not gonna lie, it was not like, oh, I can't believe he's doing this. It's like, oh, like it was not. And I just, the biggest takeaway is like, I feel lied to. And if you have to lie to your audience about what the movie is about, you have done something wrong.
That's definitely
Like,
Argyle
but okay,
effect.
but even take Argyle, the movie was technically what the trailers were. It was just clipped together to make the trailer look really good, and the movie ended up being bad. This one was not even about what the trailers were about. Like, like if you had marketed it as like, can they stay together after like this secret has rocked their world, like that would have been closer to what the actually movie was. But it's not marketed that way. It was marketed like, get your girlies, we're gonna watch this drama filled wedding romance movie. I just don't even, can't, I just, there were so many times where I was also just confused on what was going on because like I said, it's very clippy in the beginning, but also throughout they have like clips where you're like, oh, it's cutting to something, but like that was actually like a dream sequence kind of, where it's like not really like a dream sequence, but like they're thinking about what could have happened. So it's like a fake scenario that they've clipped to, but like they've clipped it in a way that you're like, wait, is this real or is this not? And then it clips back and you're like, okay, I guess that wasn't real because now we're clipping back to this other thing. And like it was supposed to be like, oh, this is what they're thinking could happen, but like, so like it was confusing a bit. And then also like the whole movie centers around the four people, mostly Zendaya and Robert, and then the best man and the maid of honor. And I also just didn't really care for the maid of honor and the best man. Like something about them felt off as well. Like there was a lot more of them in the beginning of the movie, and before it like hit the mood change with the worst thing they've ever done. Like before that, I was just like, I just don't know what it is about these people that like really makes me feel off. So like I don't, I should have been tipped off before the movie even started because all of the trailers before this movie, I was like, no, no, not gonna watch that. No, that one's not it. Like every single trailer, there was not one good trailer before this movie, which
They
to
didn't
be
play
fair,
Michael Jackson one.
no, they did not. If they did, it was a different version, like very small compared to the normal trailer. But I don't remember it being in front. It was like every single one. I was like, to be fair, like that doesn't really have anything to do with the movie, but like it immediately set the tone of like this whole night is not going to be it.
Hannah's night is ruined.
Literally, I came away from the theater, and you know I love going to the theater. I love going to the movies. I was so disappointed after I came out of this theater. Like I would rather watch Send Help, and we talked about how much I did dislike that movie. Like that movie made me feel like, oh, I don't need to be watching this. But this movie made me feel like I just needed to get out of this whole situation. Like it was such a hard watch, and I don't ever see myself watching this movie ever again. And I would not recommend it to anybody. Like, ooh, ugh, it makes me
Do
feel
you do
gross.
you think this is more of like an art movie or like just a movie that they did poorly?
I just think it's a more movie that did poorly, and also like I don't know who this is for. Like I don't know who this movie is for because it's not for the girlies. It's not for the people who like resonate and like are fighting for against gun violence. Like it's not really because it's not I don't know what the thought process was. I understand if they had changed the worst thing she's ever done to something else that's like clearly they needed something that was so bad to rock the entire foundation of the relationship between Robert and then also the friends. But like so like if they had picked something else
Like
that was
what?
actually like I don't even like a juicy type thing like a cheating or a stealing or like something that she did that like she ended up in jail or like something that, like not jail for like crazy killing kids stuff, but like jail for like oh I like stole $1 million or something like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like something juicy versus this thing was like
Too heavy.
too heavy concerning I'm scared. Like do you get what I'm saying? Like if they had changed that, the entire vibe of the movie would have been lifted and would have been a whole different mood.
Having never seen this movie, you like bringing up stuff like this, like I feel like that's what the characters are feeling, and that's why it makes me think that the people making the movie want you to feel that because that's what the exactly what the characters are meant to be thinking.
Okay, but like
I'm not defending the movie. I'm just saying I'm curious if they did that on purpose.
if they did that on purpose, it's not a smart tactic because
That's why I asked if it was an art movie because if the movie is not to be a movie but instead to be a piece, it's different.
I don't
They
even
have
it
different
didn't feel
motives.
that way. It didn't feel that way to me. Like because you want people to watch your movies over and over and over again. You want them to feel something, whether that's you want them to laugh or you want them to cry or you want them to be inspired. I felt icky after this, and it makes me never want to watch it again. I don't know any movie that wants to do that, you know? Even like the horror films that are trying to gross you out, like people still rewatch them during Halloween because they want to feel grossed out. Like they want to be scared. Like this is an entirely different feeling that I don't know who is going back time and time again to feel. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah,
It
I get what
just,
you're saying.
it just, I can't stress this out enough that I just can't. Like, also, like, a lot of the PR was Zendaya and Robert being like besties, and like, like Zendaya
That's what I saw.
went to a wedding, and they're doing like coupley things together, and like, ooh, all of the promo is like red and hearts and flowy and wedding vibes and lovey-dovey. Like, I'm just shocked to my core that this is what the movie was actually about. Like, I just don't get
Tricked.
it. I
Out
I
out
feel
out of
so
10?
lied to. And like if this 100% has to be like the bottom of Zendaya movies ever. Like and like she's in 4 movies this year that are all I thought were all gonna be incredible. This one turns out no.
What
No
are the other
freaking
what are
way.
the other movies she's in?
She's in Spider-Man
Dune, Spider-Man, drama.
and in the Odyssey. Isn't she in the Odyssey?
Oh, maybe.
Is she? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I'm pretty
I've
sure she is.
seen nothing about that.
So, 3 out of 10. Generously three. Like,
That's very low for you.
as the movie went on, the score got lower and lower. I was like, oh my gosh. I would rather watch Argyle than this.
Shoot.
I know. Cinematically, that like this movie is like Argyle is still the worst thing I've ever seen because all parts of it were bad. Like this movie at least had some like cinematography and like good acting, but the contents of the movie was really just appalling.
Noted. I
And I
will put this
just
on my do not watch list.
yeah, don't watch it. You have to believe me and not watch it and not do what we did with Argyle, where I was telling everybody how bad it was, and then they were like, well, it's so bad I have to see it. No, none of that here. Okay?
I don't
It,
get that. I've not seen Argyle because you told me it was the worst, and I believed you. And I don't have to
hmm
watch movies that I think are the worst to decide whether
Yeah,
or not they're the worst. But I
yeah.
feel like everyone else you told that to was like, well, let's purchase this movie
I
immediately.
know. I don't get it. Um, I feel that if you watched this movie, you would feel the same way. Not like not so much like disturbed as I was, but the same like, yeah, this wasn't it kind of vibe. Like, I feel like we would be close on that assessment.
Are we in agreement? Theoretically.
Theoretically, yes. So let's honestly, I've said my piece and I don't want to talk about it anymore. And because I thought this was gonna be like a cute little rom-com drama-filled romance movie, I have
Betrayal.
actually betrayed. I have actually prepared for us. Um, it's for you really, because you're not a romance movie watcher. I thought this would be fun to see. We are ranking 10 romance movies, and you can reorder as you go. So I'm just gonna give you one, and then you're gonna say 1 through 10. So it's not necessarily a blind
Have I
ranking.
seen all of them?
I don't know, but if you haven't seen it, I will tell you the plot.
Okay.
So it's not blind ranking because you can reorder. I'm just curious what your ranking would be of these 10. And I picked like the girly classics. So, okay. First up, we have While You Were Sleeping.
I have not seen this one.
Okay, this is a lovely movie. Sandra Bullock works at a
I do
train.
not like Sandra Bullock.
Okay, well, girl works at a train station, like a subway train type thing.
Yeah.
And she's the girl who like takes the tokens to let you onto the track. Um, sees this guy passing every day and she's like in love with this guy even though they've never talked. He gets pushed onto the tracks one day and she like saves his life, like pulls him off the tracks, saves his life. He's in a coma. She like accompanies him to the hospital and
Save. He doesn't get hit, but he's in a coma.
yeah, because he like it's a above
Oh, it's like so like a
ground.
train. I
Yeah,
see.
so like he fell onto the tracks in a coma, but like she saved his life by pulling him off the tracks. So she accompanies him to the hospital, and at the hospital, she makes an offhand comment of like, "Oh, I was gonna marry that guy," because she's like in love with him, even though they've never met. And one of the nurses hears that, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's his fiance." So she like tells all the nurses and the people that it's fiance, so she can be let into the room. And then his whole family shows up, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, who's this lady?" And the nurse is like, "It's his fiance." And she's like, "What?" So it's like a miscommunication, but she like goes along with it because she ends up like meeting family and like falls in love with the family kind of. And there she does try to leave, but the family's like, "No, no, stay, stay." And then his brother comes into the picture, and the brother and her actually fall in love. Um, And so then when the guy comes out of his coma, she's like, "Oh my gosh, like I have to tell everybody." Well, she wanted to tell them like before, but then the grandpa was like, "No, don't." They like convinced her not to tell him. There's so much more to this movie anyway, but so then then she's like then she confesses that she is in love with the other brother, and then the other brother confesses that he's in love with her, and then they end up together.
Okay.
Hmm.
A 6.
Okay. Okay, next up we have Notting Hill. I don't think you've seen
Uh,
this one either.
no.
Notting Hill is about this actress who, so there's an actress and there's a bookstore owner. Okay. London. It's Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts.
I did know that.
Okay. So Hugh Grant owns a bookstore. Julia Roberts, movie star, comes into this bookstore one time and he's like, "What the heck? It's Julia Roberts." And she's like, "Oh my
She
gosh,
plays herself in this movie?
no, no."
Oh, but an actress. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's like, "Wow, she gorgeous and she's amazing, whatever." And she buys a book from him. He then they're like uh walking down the street like a little bit later. They run into each other again and he accidentally spills orange juice all over. Is it coffee or orange? He spills coffee all over her. Honestly, can't remember if it's orange juice or coffee. I think it's orange juice. Doesn't matter. Spills something all over her, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I literally live like a couple yards away. Like we can go to my house and get you cleaned up and like all that stuff." And she's like, "Okay, fine." They go to his house, get her cleaned up, and and then they're like, "Ooh, something's happening. Something's happening." And do they? I think they kiss like before she leaves, like she kisses him like out of the blue. So they're like both catching feelings, but like she's like, "I'm a movie star, gotta go." And so she leaves. Then uh she's like, "Oh, actually you should come meet me at my hotel." Like, well, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do I gotta do faster rundowns. They meet up at the hotel and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's like a mix up and she's actually doing a press run, but she's like, "No, I do want to hang out with you later." So she ends up going to her sister's birthday party last night and they're like slowly falling in love. It's all romantic, it's cute. Then um he finds out that she actually has a boyfriend, but it's like one of those Hollywood relationships where she like actually doesn't like him, but they like are dating for the press. So he like walks away from the situation and he's like, "Nice knowing you."
But
Then like what?
nothing.
Okay. Then like years he like I don't exactly remember the timeline. Years pass. They meet back up with each other again and they're like, "Wow, still in love. That's crazy. Broke up with my fake boyfriend and like let's date for real." And he visits her on a set and like overhears her be like, "Oh, he's just a nobody." And he's like, "Well, you tossed me aside." And she's like, "Oh, I was just saying that to the guy I work with because I don't want it in the press." And he's like, "Well, I don't think I can be like tossed aside like that anymore, so like I can't date you. Can't do it." And she's like, heartbroken." She's like, "Fine, I understand." Then she goes to like she's like leaving London for like, Hollywood stuff. And she's like on one last like press thing before she leaves and she's like answering questions and all of the guy's friends, she confesses her love before he like says no in like a very uh quote worthy way. And all the friends were like, "It's actually the sweetest thing I've ever heard. You should go get her." And he's like, "Shoot, you're right." So they run to go get her, and then he like confesses his love to her in this Q&A, and then they end up together.
Wow. Uh, I'll put that at 4.
One is the best.
Yeah.
Okay, just thought I should clarify that before. Safe Haven.
Is this the one with the fire?
The house catches on
Okay.
fire at the end.
I've seen this, but it's like I only have kind of seen this.
Okay, so girl has a secret dark past. This one also like jumps back and forth, so you like kind of don't know what happens and kind of do. But I'll tell you, like you already knew. Her husband is abusive, but he's also a cop. She stabs him one night trying to get away, like in self-defense, stabs him because he's like choking her. Stabs him, runs away, skips town, away. She gone. She dyes her hair, cuts it, she's gone. Ends up in this middle of nowhere town, and this guy who owns a convenience store in the town, like her and him, they're the cutesy, they start to fall in love, but she's mysterious about her past. Then he finds out that she's like the husband like prints a wanted poster and says that she's wanted for murder, even though she didn't kill him. He's just the cop so he can do that. So then the convenience store boyfriend is like, "What the heck? You're a murderer?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm not, I swear." Like tells him the story. So then they're like, "Okay, stay here. I'll protect you. It'll be okay." Then the
Welcome
crazy
to
ex
my safe haven.
yes. Then the cop husband comes to that town and is like, he's crazy. He's out of his mind, has to find this girl. He, uh, it's the 4th of July, and the girl is staying at the house with the convenience store guy has two kids. His wife previously has died. She's staying at the house with the girl. The convenience store boyfriend went to go light fireworks with the boy, and then the cop shows up and she's like, "Oh my gosh, stop, like you're drunk and you're acting crazy." He ends up lighting the house on fire with the girl inside. So then they have to like save the girl. There's a tussle, and the girl ends up killing the husband cop. So then the other people like their house burned down, but they also live happily ever after.
I will rate this a 5.
Okay. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Mm, an 8.
Oh, have you seen this one?
No, but I know the story.
Okay. 10 Things I Hate About You. Another 10 movie.
Oh, I'm mixing them up. That's 10 things I hate about you is what? Oh wait.
Heath
Actually,
Ledger. Heath
tell me
Ledger
about
is
this one.
okay. 10 Things I Hate About You is Heath Ledger. The How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is Matthew McConaughey.
Okay, I know how to lose a guy in 10 days,
Okay.
and
They're like
I don't like
they each have
it.
a bet against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 Things I Hate About You is this girl who like not fun, doesn't like to party, and then she has a sister who really wants to party, but her dad made a rule she can't go on dates unless the other sister does, as a way to be like, you're not going on any dates, because like she's not going to go on any dates because she doesn't want to. So this guy likes the sister, so he enlists Heath Ledger to ask the other sister out so that he can date the fun sister. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so like that's the plan. He asks out the not fun sister, and then they end up, like opposites attract, they fall in love, and it's very cutesy. And then she finds out at the end that he was paid to ask her out on a date, and but then they work through that, and it's all fine. That's basically the movie, but
Mm,
like more cutesy than that.
I want to push. Actually, no. I'll give this. I'm gonna push my 4, 5, and 6 up one and put this at a 6.
Okay, okay. Let me just do a little maneuvering. Okay, next up we have The Notebook, an absolute classic.
It is a classic. I just feel like I really what's odd because I'm like, oh, do I rate this as like how good of a movie is it or how much I actually like it? Because The Notebook, because it is so popular, like I know people who are named after people in the Notebook.
Mm,
So I know at least 3 people who are named Noah because of the Notebook.
okay.
Um, I don't know. I'm gonna rate this as a 7.
Okay. We
I
had
I
while you
I
were
think
sleeping out of
though.
7, so
Oh, while you're sleeping goes up.
okay.
That
To what?
that's a new 6. Cause my that
Okay,
one
and then
the
it
6 is
is the
open.
6 of 5.
This is now. Well, no, cause
The numbers we
I
have
had 4,
left.
5, and 6, and I moved everything up, and I put in that one as a 7, so there should have been still a gap on 6.
No.
Tell me what I have?
You have 1, 2, 5,
5.
9, and
This
10.
one. Wait, this is the Notebook. I'll put this one as a 9.
9. Okay. Letters to Juliet.
I actually really like this one. I will put
Oh,
this at 1.
I'm surprised you've seen this.
Yes.
Are we thinking of the right movie?
With the wall, with all the
Amanda
notes.
Seyfried?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the wall with all the notes on it.
Yeah, just checking, you
Yeah.
know.
Number 1.
Okay. The Proposal.
Oof. Okay, okay. Here's this. Notoriously, I dislike this movie, but also I dislike all these other movies. Likely way more. Do I have 2 open? I might put this as a 2.
Yeah, you have 2 open.
2.
Okay.
Even though this is the one I make fun of the most, for sure.
About Time.
Have I seen this one?
We have 5 and 10 left.
What is this one?
About Time. I know I've told you about this because we talked about it in the time travel episode.
Yeah.
But About Time is where Donald Gleason, my guy, he is falling in love with um what's her name? Uh she's Doctor Strange's girlfriend.
Oh, I
She's in
don't
the
know her
Notebook.
name. I don't know her name.
Rachel McAdams. Donald Gleason is falling in love with Rachel McAdams, and he is able to go back in time to his life and then jump back. So it's the story of how they're falling in love.
Oh, and the different. Yeah. We did talk about this.
Hmm.
I will rate this. Hmm. My instinct is to put it at 10, even though I don't know why. I think I
I
just
have
don't want to put it at 3. There's no
no,
strong
you have
feelings
five,
about it. Oh,
5 and
5.
10 left.
I'll
I
put it
have
at
a
10.
feeling the other one you might put at 10.
Then I'll put this one at 5.
Okay. The last one is Serendipity.
I have I have seen bits of this and I've had it recounted to me and I probably won't watch it ever. 10.
Okay. Okay. I had a feeling you would do that. Okay, so here's your ranking, and let me know if you'd like to change any of these. Number 1, we have Letters to Juliet. 2, The Proposal. 3, Notting Hill. 4, Safe Haven. 5, About Time. 6, 10 Things I Hate About You. 7, While You Were Sleeping. 8, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. 9, The Notebook, and 10, Serendipity.
I think about switch about time and while you were sleeping and then I'll submit. Submit.
So you're switching 5 and 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Let it be known that if I've seen any of these movies, I've only seen them. Actually, I've seen Letters to Juliet multiple times, but I've seen all the other ones once or less than once.
I find that surprising that you've seen that movie, but
We had it on DVD. It was one of the DVD, so it was like we would watch it all the time.
I definitely love it, but it's definitely not on the caliber as some of these other movies like
I
that
agree.
like all the girlies watch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Where I'm like, if I rate them as how good of a movies they are, how good of a movie they are, different ratings. But this is like my enjoyment of them. Yeah,
I just thought of another one. Where would you put The Princess Diaries in here?
I've never seen it. I here's based on who is in it and the clips that I've seen, I would probably rate this an 11. Like I
What?
just really dislike that kind of humor, and that kind of like I just don't like that.
I like the Princess Diaries 2 better than Princess Diaries 1, but that's just me personally.
I have seen Miss Congeniality though.
Or The Prince and Me.
Is that uh
Freaking love that
which
movie.
one is that?
It's where this prince comes into town. He's like such a ladies' man, and then he comes into town and meets this girl that she's like, I
Is
am
this
not
like
a.
a movie or like a Hallmark movie?
It's a movie.
You sure?
Yeah. And she's like, I am not about you. And he ends up humbling himself and they fall in love. And but then he's like, I have to be a prince. My dad is dying, so I have to be now the king. And she's like, well, I want to go do Doctors Without Borders and like be a doctor. So they go their separate ways. And she like finishes college and he's like, but I love you. And she's at her graduation for college. He comes to the graduation. He's like, you know what? You go be a doctor while I am the king and I will wait for you. So
12.
go women.
Because she was a woman.
She's a woman. Yeah. So, okay. What an incredible chat we've had.
I did not think. Wait, I asked you repeatedly what we were gonna do this episode on. Each time you were just like, "We're talking about the drama," and I was like, "That's gonna take an hour."
Now, I
No.
had something up my sleeve.
Yeah, we did have a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I know I'm not gonna get you to watch these romance movies, so I gotta sneak them in somehow.
you're
Okay. This was enjoyable. Talk to you later. Bye.